Hi everyone, this is Tanner, and I think Spider-Man Brand New Day could be the best Spider-Man movie. First of all, this was a great trailer to watch, and the one thing that sticks out for me is just the visual side of it. There are so many shots in this trailer that look like the comic book come, to life. And I know that's because there's some scenes that are replicating comic covers, but just the lighting, the way this suit looks is fantastic here. I love the feel of this movie. It seems genuine. It seems real. New York seems big in this movie. It seems like this is a huge scope. I love that. I also think, too, that this movie could have the best elements of the previous Spider-Man movies that we got. Let's start off the Raimi trilogy. I think those movies really nail down the emotion of Peter Parker, and that's how this trailer starts. We see Peter's alone. He misses MJ and Ned. We see him going through personal stuff, and I think this movie could really anchor kind of a legendary Tom Holland performance. I know that might sound crazy, but you have that scene where he watches Ned in a cafe and can just tell in Peter's face how much he misses his friends. I think Tom Holland showed some really great acting in No Way Home. I think this movie is going to really go into more of his emotions. Really say, okay, this is a guy that can get serious here. He can get deep. Let's see where he can really go. He's alone. This is the Peter Parker that a lot of fans have wanted. How does that play out? I think that could be very interesting. Then you go to the TASM side of things, the Amazing Spider-Man side. I think those movies really had a great energy to them. A lot of that has to do with the action. I think this trailer has amazing action in it. The way Spider-Man swings, dives, flips, all that. Even the stuff in the montage, which I love the montage stuff. Him fighting Boomerang. What an awesome shot that was. Him fighting Tarantula. That was so cool. Him fighting the Hand. That's exciting. Where's that going? Does Daredevil maybe show up? But the action looks so good. And the director of this, Dustin Daniel Crichton, did Shang-Chi, which I know people are higher or lower on, but I feel like everyone kind of unanimously agrees that the action is the best thing in Shang-Chi. And I think if this movie could deliver that, it could be special. And same with that suit. It looks so practical. It looks so real. I love that. There's some shots where kind of threw me a bit because I'm not used to a suit looking that like real, and I really love that here. I think this is one of I like this suit and the Christopher Reeve Superman suit for me look real. And when I feel like there'll be certain shots, and there's something in this trailer that looks like, yeah, that's Spider-Man. Like that is Spider-Man. That's who I see. Also love the music in this trailer. I think that's something that the TASM movies had in store as well. And then you go to the MCU Spider-Man movies. And for me, I think when MCU characters are implemented well, that it can be very well done. And I think we see that in this trailer. Peter's going through some type of mutations, which I think is a very interesting story. So he talks to Bruce Banner. I think that's really neat here. Not only do I like Mark Ruffalo as his character, but kind of back in the day, meaning like the 2000s, the big three for Marvel were Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Hulk. And we've never really seen those three characters interact at all in the MCU. So it's really neat to finally see Spider-Man and Hulk. And the stuff with Peter and Bruce Banner is great. I can't wait to see Hulk in this movie. And then you have Punisher, right? So cool to see that here. The stuff that him and Spider-Man have is great. I love how in the short sequence we get, you can tell that these two characters are going to clash. I like how they seem on equal footing. Spider-Man does seem more mature in this movie, which kind of does bring me to some of my cons. First of all, I just do wish Peter's voice was a bit deeper. It's not the biggest deal, but it's supposed to be a 4-year gap between this movie and No Way Home, and he sounds pretty much the same. This movie kind of has a more mature vibe to it. I wish Peter's voice reflected that. I'm also, too, not sold on the fact of bringing MJ and Ned back. It seems like MJ has a new boyfriend, and I think, like, emotionally that could be great. But part of me just wonders here, how can we kind of have this movie not undo the effects of No Way Home? I thought that was a very emotionally good ending where Peter has to say goodbye to his friends. I just don't want him to solve it in one movie. So we'll see how that goes on. Also, Sadie Sink is supposed to be playing Jean Grey in this movie. Yes, Jean Grey from the X-Men. But how does that work? What does that do? She's shown in the trailer. It seems like she's mind controlling people. Okay. That could be really cool if done well. But this movie does seem like it has a lot. But I do think that it's something that landed well, could be really good. It kind of seems like we have this grounded Spider-Man story, and then we have an X-Men that could maybe kind of muddle the tone a bit, but I'm very interested to see. And overall, I'm just very excited here, right? I feel like Marvel's on the right track. I really liked all the Marvel movies last year. I thought, Captain America 4 had its fun moments. I really love Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Doomsday looks very interesting from what I've seen from the trailers released online. And then Brand New Day looks really great here as well. Like I said, I think it has the elements to be the best Spider-Man movie. There's also shades of Spectacular Spider-Man because Tombstone's apparently going to be in this. Yeah, the Spider-Man PS4 games with some of the shots here. Like, this thing looks excellent. So overall, y'all thoughts in the comments below. Very excited. And until then, take care.